Fantastic. Training's going really great. We're ahead of schedule. I showed up to camp in phenomenal shape. We're getting our rounds in. I have fantastic sparring going so far. You know, my coach, Tim Lane and Keith Trimble, they have an incredible game plan that we're putting together piece by piece, week by week. And my conditioning is, I'm in fight shape now. I'm in fight shape last week. But now it's just game planning, strategy, and taking each piece of the puzzle. So we're set for fight now. Well, this fight has a lot to do with footwork because Manny has great footwork. He's a guy who's going to be real shifty in and out. I think he's the master of the in and out, the start and stop. So I've got to be able to combat that. I got to be ready for anything. You know, you never know what's going to happen with Manny Pacquiao. The guy has tremendous experience. He's an explosive guy. He's a fast guy. He's, like I said, he's a start-stop guy. So you got to be ready for anything. I think a lot of his other sparring partners would try and keep up. I mean, other fighters would try and keep up, other opponents, I should say, would try and keep up and couldn't. You know, I don't foresee that in our camp. You know, we're ready for anything. And, you know, I've got great footwork too. So that's a big part of it. I want to make sure that my feet are prepared and ready. My conditioning is there. And we're going to fight 3 minutes of every round. The jab is always, it's boxing. This is boxing. It's the #1 for a reason. You know, it's the best sport in boxing. It's the best punch in boxing. So it's always going to be a part of my game plan. It's always a part of all of my fights. It's always a big part of my fights. You know, but you know, now we're dealing with southpaw. You know, we got different angles. The right hand is going to be a lot more prominent in this fight too. We've been working on that. You know, and I'm feeling really comfortable using that more in this training camp. You know, we're just scratching the surface, man. We're really breaking through on my potential and working on a lot of new things, and we're gonna bring some real, you know, new tools, you know, to the show on November 22nd. I think Pacquiao's, you know, biggest weapon in this fight is his experience, of course. You know, he's fast, but I'm fast too. You know, he's got good footwork, but I got good footwork too. You know, he's the higher weight class, but I'm the bigger man. You know, so but his experience is something that's kind of intangible, and I think this fight's going to come down to intangibles, because my intangible is I don't know how to lose, and I find ways to win, which I showed in this Manny fight. So I say it all the time, champions are built on intangibles. There's so many great and talented guys who never won titles, and there's a reason for that, you know? So there's those things that are inside of a person and a fighter and a champion that are different than other guys. So personally, I think it's going to come down to that.